what would be your advice to me right now to
Mhm.
financially free my family and to gain more wealth within the next, well, 1 year goal and then a 3 year goal? What can I do right now to change my trajectory?
A couple of things. I mean, ultimately, it's either going to be increasing your top line or decreasing your bottom line. So you increase income or you decrease expenses. So making more money, while it's not the solution to everything, would help.
Right.
In the absence of opportunity to do that, and lots of people don't have that opportunity, I would say the number one thing is going to be to continue to do debt reduction and get that out of the way. That will matter. The second thing will be to begin a program of investing that is automated, that doesn't require you to take action every month. It can be through a paycheck like a 401k, or it can be just a fund account that you add $100 to a month automatically from your checking account, whatever it is. There is an enormous amount of research to show that the psychological torture that people put themselves through as to whether it's a good time to invest or not a good time to invest is a wasted energy and a terrible drain, because it's always a good time to invest and it's never a good time to invest. Take your
Right.
pick. So automate it. Get yourselves in the habit. Get in the habit of living on 85% of your gross income. You make 100, put away 15.
So keep in mind when our gross is probably around 100, we
Mhm,
net
mhm.
75
Right. I know. Put away 15.
off
And if
of
you
the
put
75.
off of the 75, and you can do some of that pre-tax and some of it's a match. So for example, if you need to put away 15% and you put away 6 in a 401k and your employer matches 3, that's already 9%.
Right.
Doesn't have to be your money, just has to be someone's money.
Right.
And starting at 15%, being debt free, having an emergency fund, a wherewithal fund, so that you have savings to dip into if you need it, in case you need a washer and dryer all of a sudden. You don't have to go to MasterCard. You have a savings for that. So having the right habits, having
I'm
the right
laughing because I
emergency
need a
fund.
washer and dryer too.
Well, everybody needs a washer and dryer. You're not going to put them out on the clothesline. Maybe in the summer you
Uh,
can, but that's life. If it's
right.
not a washer and dryer, it's 4 tires,
Hmm.
brakes, or something. Life will always happen. The key is making sure that you're as bulletproof as you can be financially. And that means having an emergency fund. It means having the right risk management plan. It means having the right insurances. You got 3 little ones. There's things you can do immediately to make sure that they're better off if something happens to you. Some of that could be life insurance. Some of it could be disability insurance. Some of it could be your estate planning documents. Have the right documents set up, your wills and your powers of attorney and your healthcare directives. Some of it could be, again, the emergency fund. Having some money that's safe. It's FDIC insured. It's in a CD. It's in a savings account. It's someplace boring. It's not going to make you rich, but it might keep you from becoming poor.
Right.
And you can win by not losing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better. I use the iceberg example with the loan, but the fact of the matter is that if the Titanic had gotten there 20 minutes later by going slower rather than hitting the iceberg at full speed, they'd have been better off. Sometimes it's better to just miss the big mistake. It means being protected in the event you're sued because of a fender bender and somebody suddenly can't move their neck properly.
Right.
All the nonsense. It means having the right insurance coverages, the right employee benefits, the right tax picture. There may be things you're not even looking at from a tax perspective. Do you use a CPA or TurboTax or H&R Block, or what's that look like?
I use a CPA.
Okay. Your CPA should be finding you opportunities, and one of them is your retirement savings.
Okay.
If you can put away 15% in, and I would still say Roth IRAs to me will be more valuable even than real estate. Um, and for a couple of reasons, but one of which is it'll grow tax-free forever. Real estate will cost you taxes every year. And ultimately, and I know there are ways to exchange it, but at some
Hmm.
point the piper gets paid and there's taxation. And right now, capital gains rates are at modern day lows. But we have an election in 6 months that could dramatically change that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen, but the country's broke. The country's worse than broke. We're 20 plus $1 trillion in the hole. Trillion. That we can't even fathom that. Tax rates are going to go up and there are going to be issues around that. And when that occurs, you can expect that the low hanging fruit that Congress can go after are people with investable assets. whether it's real estate or stocks and bonds, or if you have investments, you have money. And for them to take capital gains rates back up to make them the same as ordinary rates would only impact a small percentage of the population. And they're the
Right.
easiest to go after. Politically, it's simple. And so same thing with estate taxes, inheritance taxes. Having money get taxed when you die, which is the most obscene and absurd thing I can think of.
Right.
But it happens, and every state is different. And if you die in New Jersey, it's going to cost you a heck of a lot more than if you're in Florida, where it's going to cost you nothing. Yeah, based on your residency, not actually
Right.
physically where you are when you're windsurfing. But in terms of that, I would tell you any place you can put money where it will never be taxed again is the single best way to protect and preserve your wealth. There are four that I can think of.
What are
Um,
they?
well,